Peace and love, family. This is the Prince of Pan-Africanism, Dr. Umar Johnson, joining you today from Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, where I attended undergraduate university at Millersville University. Today, or tonight rather, for those of you who are still awake, and for those of you who are not out partying, and there's nothing wrong with partying, it's the weekend, you earn the right to do that. But tonight, what I would like to do is expose and explode the myth of the so-called attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, the so-called ADHD, which all of you know that I refer to as ain't no daddy at home disorder. Ain't no daddy at home disorder. So we're going to talk about this ADHD thing tonight. This is the parent tutorial for this evening by Prince Ifatunde, aka Son of Ogun, aka Black America's #1 most requested speaker, aka the new Marcus Garvey, aka the new Nat Turner, aka the new Frederick Douglass, aka your favorite Pan-Africanist. So my two teaching aids for this evening, is the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, 5th edition by the American Psychiatric Association. And then I also have my pill book, which is kind of destroyed because I use it a lot. Regular pill book. You can get it from any supermarket periodical aisle. You can get it from any bookstore. Two things that every black parent need to have: your DSM-5 and your pill book. And I would also say, along with that, you need to have a copy of your state special education policy, your state special education code. You also need to have a copy of your children's school district discipline code, the code of discipline. You should have that. Every parent needs to have a war packet, a war folder, a war bag, because advocating for your child in America's public, private, parochial, and charter schools is going to be war. You need your pill book in your war pad. You need the code of conduct in your war pad. You need the parent handbook in your war pad. You need the teachers union contract in your war pad. You need the DSM-5 in your war pad. You need the federal special ed code in your war pad. And you need the state special ed code in your war pad. So let's talk about this ADHD. Now, let's deal with some facts. Before 1980, ADHD did not exist. Before 1980, ADHD did not exist. There is no attention deficit hyperactivity disorder until 1980. The first time we saw it in this book, And when it was published in the DSM, it was either the DSM-2 or the DSM-3, and I'm forgetting which one. It was the DSM-2 or the DSM-3. I think it was the 3, but it could have been the 2. It wasn't in a 4. It wasn't in a 5. It was in the 2 or the 3 for the first time. Now, what else happened in 1980? In 1980, the CIA, Cocaine Import Agency, otherwise known as Central Intelligence Agency, brought hundreds of kilos of crack cocaine into the black community. They brought the cocaine into the black community to destabilize and chemically neutralize the Black Power movement. Chemical warfare. So when they brought the crack cocaine into the black community, turning fathers into addicts overnight, turning fathers into drug dealers overnight, not because they wanted to break the law, not because they wanted to sell dope, but in the generation prior to 1980, the 70s, and in order to understand what's being done to Black America today, you have to understand the 70s, and you have to understand the 60s. The 60s was the decade of Black resistance. So the 70s was the decade of government pushback, and the 80s was the decade of chemical warfare. So in the 70s, the United States government deindustrialized the inner city, and the inner city high schools. Up until the 1970s, and definitely up until the 1960s, you did not need a college degree to get a good job as a black man in America. Let me say this again. Let me say this again. We're going to put this in context, because the ADHD war against black boys is a small piece of the larger war against all black males. Because what you need to understand is the number one enemy of white supremacy is the Nat Turner personality. The number one enemy of white racism is the unapologetically African alpha male. The unapologetically African alpha male. That's the number one enemy of white supremacy. Okay? So after the Dr. King murder, the 70s was the period of deindustrialization. Your grandfather didn't need a college degree to take care of your grandmother. Your great-great-grandmother didn't need a college degree in order to take care of her children. You did not need a college degree to be a success before 1970. Why? Because America had an industrial-based economy. America had an industrial-based economy. When you have an industrial-based economy, you don't need philosophy class. When you have an industrial-based economy, you understand? You don't need liberal arts education. When you have an industrial-based economy, you need practical skills being taught, so those practical skills can be applied in the factory. So some of us had grandparents who dropped out of the 6th grade, dropped out of the 8th grade, and made a better living as a high school dropout in 1960 than you and I make as a college graduate in 2016. Facts. Let me say that again. Your grandfather with the 6th grade education was able to make a better living with his 6th grade education than what many of us make with a master's degree after 6 years of college. Facts. The reason our grandparents could live a comfortable, decent life with a 5th and 6th grade education, again, because America was an industrial-based economic nation. Facts. You don't get college education being pushed down the throats of all black children until the 1980s. Facts. In the 70s, it was industrial-based education. But what they did to neutralize the black power struggle is they came into the hood and took all the factory jobs out. They shut down all the industrial plants out. They sent them up to the deep suburbs of the white folk, and they shipped them across the ocean to Asia, low-income Asian countries, Central South America, but most of them went to Asia and to white suburbs. So they killed the job market for black men, and they did that to kill the black man's ability to finance the revolutionary struggle. The reason black men are unemployed is so that they cannot finance the revolutionary struggle. Facts. Okay? So, in 1980, the CIA comes in with the crack. Black men struggling, looking for work, cannot find work. Depressed, suicidal, insecure, because I can't pay my bills, I can't take care of my children. My wife is angry. But here comes the CIA with the crack. So when the CIA comes in with the crack, I either use it to self-medicate my problems, or I sell it to make some money to feed my family. The CIA knew we would do it. Because any human being, black, white, brown, yellow, will do it when they don't have alternatives. See, you either have options or you are oppressed. You either have options or you are oppressed. You either have options or you are oppressed. You cannot be both oppressed and have options. So when you hear Negroes talking about black men had a choice, he didn't have to sell drugs. He had a choice. Well, make up your mind. Either black men suffer from oppression or black men have opportunities. That's the dichotomy. Oppression or opportunities. One or the other. You can't have it both ways, you bougie niggas. So when the CIA dropped the crack off in the black community, they also dropped the Ritalin off in the public school. Facts. They started doping up the adults and doping up the children the same year, 1980. If I'm wrong, prove it. Facts. Y'all running around talking about some Dr. Umar like the rest of them. Really? Show me a scholar giving you the information I'm giving you. Show me one of them, young or old, giving you the information I'm giving you. Facts. Ain't no hotepping over here. Ain't no hotepping over here. This is revolutionary information to change the paradigm, to change the narrative. I'm in my own lane. Facts. So, there's something else you need to know. So we clear that they started doping up the hood and doping up the schools at the same time, right? We're clear about that. They started doping up the hood and doping up the schools at the same time. Now, there's something I want to tell you about. There's something that you need to research known as the Federal Anti-Violence Initiative. Write this down if you're taking notes. The Federal Anti-Violence Initiative, FAVI. FAVI, the Federal Anti-Violence Initiative. This was a federally funded psychiatric study that sought to prove that black males had a gene that predisposed us to violence. Do y'all remember that? Remember, for those of you who are my age, I'm 40, remember when we was in the 4th grade and the 5th grade, 1984 to 1988, all in the news? Do black men have a gene that makes them kill each other? Do black men have a gene that predisposes them to violence? Do y'all remember that conversation? Y'all remember that conversation? Well, guess what? This racist study, eugenics. I need y'all to understand eugenics. Eugenics is the science of white supremacy. Eugenics was created by a white racist psychologist, Sir Francis Galton, considered the father of the study of individual differences. His cousin was Charles Darwin. He wrote a book called Hereditary Genius. Hereditary DNA, genius, intellect. He said your intelligence is hereditary. He said that white folk are intellectually superior to everybody, especially black folk. He set the foundation for academic racism. He set the foundation for intellectual racism. He wasn't alone. He wasn't the only one, but he was one of the major architects of white supremacy. See, y'all need to understand the psychologists created the racism. The psychologists created the Nazi movement, created Jim Crow. It was the psychologist who engineered apartheid. So it's going to be a psychologist that tear that shit up. Silverback gorilla style. Silverback gorilla style. Now, just keep on dealing with this now. ADHD, Federal Anti-Violence Initiative. Black men have a gene that makes them violent. This supports the notion during slavery and pre-slavery that we have animal. The black male is an animal. The black boy is an animal. He can't control himself. He don't have discipline. This is why I tell you, black parents, the most important job you have raising a black boy is to teach him discipline, self-control, self-mastery. Because if you don't, this society will destroy your son. Facts. Black mother, stop babying that boy. Facts. Black mother, be consistent with the discipline. Facts. Black father, support your queen and teach that boy how to control himself. Black men, you see a sister struggling with her son, you need to step in and help that queen with her son, and you should not be looking for any loosey-goosey in return. Facts. So, they said black men are born violent. Black boys have a gene that predisposes them to violence. So they said, this is a national security issue. Listen, listen. The behavior of black boys is a national security issue. And the reason it is a national security issue because J. Edgar Hoover then already said, J. Edgar Hoover then already said that one of the missions of the FBI is to find and neutralize the black messiah who could unify and electrify the militant black nationalist movement. He didn't say the Christian movement. He didn't say the Islamic movement. He didn't say the Moorish movement. He didn't say the Hebrew movement. He didn't say the he said black nationalist movement. He know what can fix this. Not no religion, Pan-African nationalism, Garvey style. Garvey's style. So, if black boys are born violent, and J. Edgar Hoover said we got to find and neutralize the black messiah, what did Pharaoh do? Pharaoh said, go and find all the boys. We got to get that revolutionary. Where that deliverer at? Where that Moses at? We got to go and find the boys and neutralize the male children. Neutralize the male children. And so with the Federal Anti-Violence Initiative, they felt that they could prevent the next Malcolm X, prevent the next Marcus Garvey, prevent the next Medgar Evers, prevent the next Dr. King by diagnosing and medication. Diagnosing and medication. Facts. So they came up with this ADD, attention deficit disorder, grew out of the Federal Anti-Violence Initiative. Conduct disorder grew out of the Federal Anti-Violence Initiative. Oppositional defiant disorder grew out of the Federal Anti-Violence Initiative. Intermittent explosive disorder for children grew out of the Federal Anti-Violence Initiative. Disruptive behavior disorder grew out of the Federal Anti-Violence Initiative. They said neutralize them through medication. Lock the father up, get him out the house, convince the mother to dope up her son, and we can prevent the next black revolutionary movement. And you know what's so sad about this, family? You know what's so sad about this? Your son can't get this, and he can't get this unless you take out your pen and sign your name. Facts. Facts. And then you want to send me an email. Dr. Umar, they diagnosed my son with ADHD. Dr. Umar, they put my son on Ritalin. I don't want to hear they. I don't want to hear they. You better start saying we, because if you didn't do this, if you didn't sign your name, they could have never did this. You are guilty. You are an accomplice to the crime of the extermination of black boys. You mothers out there with your sons on crack. Your sons on crack. And why does Dr. Umar call it crack? The reason Dr. Umar Johnson calls Ritalin crack is because the Drug Enforcement Agency of the United States government, not me, Obama's people, the Drug Enforcement Agency of the United States government classifies Ritalin as a Schedule B drug. It's in the same category as cocaine and opium. Addiction and destruction. Facts. Pharmacologically, Ritalin is one molecule away from crack. Facts. Pharmacologically, Ritalin is the exact same thing as speed, the illegal drug sold on the street. Facts. So let me get this right. Let me get this right. It's a little warm. That fire. I'm a Leo, so you know I'm going to sweat a little bit. I'm that sun fire. By the way, the next full solar eclipse is on Nat Turner Day. The next full solar eclipse is on Nat Turner Day, Haitian Revolution Day, George Jackson Day, Birth of Jesus Christ Day, Birth of Krishna Day, Birth of Prince of Pan-Africanism. August the 21st, 2017 is the next solar eclipse. Facts. And y'all know what happened the next August the 21st. What's going to happen the next August the 21st? What's going to happen August 21st, 2018? We shutting all the haters down when we open up the doors to FDMG day one. Not a homeschool hater can stop me. Facts. Well, I got the heat up. You know, Dr. Umar's, I'm a Leo, so I get cold real easy. So I got the heat turned up. You feel me? Because I get cold real easy. I need heat. I'm a heat baby, sun baby, Leo baby. You understand? Fire. I need the fire. Okay? So let's get back. ADD, attention deficit disorder, becomes ADHD in 1987. In 1980, it was ADD, attention deficit disorder. But 7 years later, it became ADHD. Why did it go from ADD to ADHD? The reason it went from ADD to ADHD is because there's no drug. There's no drug. There's no drug that can make your son pay attention to the Christopher Columbus lecture. There's no drug to make your son pay attention to the Helen Keller story. There's no drug to make your son pay attention to the Star-Spangled Banner. There's no drug that's going to make your son pay attention to the George Washington civics lesson. There's no drug that can make your children pay attention, so the drug companies were not making money. The drug companies were not getting paid off ADD, so they had to call it ADHD, so every black boy can be medicated. So today, there is no ADD. It's all ADHD, primarily hyper, primarily inattentive, combined, not otherwise specified. Everybody gets dope. Everybody gets the dope now, but don't blame the white man. Look in the mirror. Here you go. Look in the mirror. You love signing your name. See, at FDMG, we won't need no ADHD. FDMG, we won't need no Ritalin, no Adderall, no Metadate, no Concerta, no Cycler, because your child is going to be so focused. Your child is going to be so interested. Your child is going to be so engaged. Your baby going to be so motivated. The teachers are going to be so energized to teach them that we won't need this or this at FDMG. Facts. Facts. So check it out. ADD 1980, ADHD 1987. Now we're about to go over the criteria in a minute. Now why does Dr. Umar call it ain't no daddy at home disorder? The reason I call it ain't no daddy at home disorder is because 85% of black boys diagnosed with ADHD don't have a father in their life. If you know any black parent whose child is diagnosed with ADHD, you better call them up, text them, tweet them, Facebook them, Instagram them, and tell them they need to get to my Facebook Live right now. Get every last one of them parents who's selling their son's soul down the drain to the pharmaceutical industry, selling their son's soul down the drain to the pharmaceutical industry. You tell them they better get to this Facebook Live right now. And if they can't get to it right now because they too drunk, or she getting her weave put in, or he out with his white girlfriend, or whatever the reason is, then when this is over, you make sure you send this to them. You make sure you sit them down and you make them watch it. I ain't got time to debate nonsense from the past. I ain't got time to debate nonsense from the past. I'm too busy dealing with the present. You feel me? You feel me? Heard a little smart comment. You don't want it with me. Trust me, you don't want it with me. It's only one king. And if you want the belt, come take it. You cannot hate it away. You cannot YouTube it away. Come take it. Orator number one, Marcus Garvey. Orator number one, Frederick Douglass. Orator number one, Dr. Umar. Orator number one. Facts. Baltimore, Maryland. I'ma see you Monday, first day of Kwanzaa, Downtown Cultural Arts Center, 401 North Howard Street. Doors open up at 4, power lecture at 6. Kwanzaa begins in Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman City. And then Jacksonville, Florida. The Prince is coming back after a 5-year hiatus. He's coming back after 5 years. Y'all better be there at the Regency Square Mall Event Planning Center. The Regency Square Mall Event Planning Center, Jacksonville, Florida, Wednesday, December the 28th, Kwanzaa Day 3. Doors open up at 4. Prince of Pan-Africanism, going to drop the science at 6. Facts. Detroit, Michigan, Motown. The Prince is coming back to Motown Friday, December the 30th at the Greater New Mount Moriah Baptist Church. Friday, December the 30th. Doors open up at 4. I'm dropping the science at 6. We got 12 vendors. We got food vendors. We got opening acts. Motown. You know how we do. Facts. Atlanta, Georgia. Hotlanta, Georgia. We're going to start the new year in the deep South. Shout out to Usher for coming through last year. Shout out to T.I. for coming through last year. Shout out to Killer Mike for coming through last year. Shout out to my big brother David Banner, super producer MC from the conscious community, for coming through last year. Shout out to my man Tyrese. Shout out to my man Reverend Run. Had a chance to hang out to them. Shout out with Corrupt. Good conversation with Brother Corrupt there. You feel me? Facts. Shout out to my man Genuine who hit me up. Shout out to Genuine. You feel me? Facts. So Atlanta, Sunday, January the 1st, doors open up at 3. Program from 5 to 8. Doors open up at 3. Program from 5 to 8. Atlanta, the Prince, we start in the new year. Los Angeles, California, Saturday, January the 7th. Los Angeles, California, Saturday, January the 7th. My first visit to LA since 2014, 3 years. Compton, I'm looking for you. Long Beach, I'm looking for you. South Central, I'm looking for you. Watts, I'm looking for you. I want all my Crip brothers in there. I want all my Blood brothers in there. Crip gang, Blood gang. I love all y'all. We about to come together and fix this whole movement. You feel me? Facts. Shout out to the Crips and the Bloods. Facts. You feel me? West Coast Panthers, old school and new school. Facts. Durham, North Carolina. First visit in 13 years. Durham, North Carolina. The Prince of Pan-Africanism will be back Tuesday, January 17th, for the first time since I was Minister of Education for the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League. I left as the minister, but I'm coming back 13 years later as the Prince. Facts. So let's talk about the diagnoses. 85% of black boys diagnosed with ADHD don't have a father figure in their life. 85% of black boys diagnosed with ADHD don't have a father figure in their life. They don't need medicine. They need men. They don't need medicine. They need men. They don't need drugs. They need love. They don't need drugs. They need love. They don't need the doctor. They need their daddy. They don't need the doctor. They need their daddy. Facts. Alabama, I'm working on you. Mobile, Alabama, I'm working on you. Seattle, I'm working on you. Austin, Texas, I'm working on you. Connecticut, I'm working on you. Chicago, I think I found a venue for Chicago. We're going to come back and make sure we got enough space for Chi-Town. Dr. Umar City #1, Chi-Town. But Atlanta right there with you. Detroit right there with you. Baltimore right there with you. DC right there with you. Dallas, Texas is right there with you. Houston is right there with you. So let's talk about the criteria. Before we open the book, Charlotte, I'm working on you, Charlotte. Charlotte, I'm working on you. All right. Baltimore Monday. Now, somebody said the U.S. is working on you. Cut it out, Lindsay. You're supposed to be sending me love now. We ain't doing none of them USA jokes, you feel me? This is real life. We laugh and we joke and we play. You understand? But this is real life here. My life is real. When I walk out that door, my life is real. You feels me? So, before we open up the book, on the back, there's a picture. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? See that picture? You know who that is? That's Benjamin Rush. His face is the symbol of the American Psychiatric Association. Benjamin Rush, his face is the symbol of the American Psychiatric Association. And look what the date says. What does the date? 1844. 1844. 1844. What was your ancestors doing in 1844? I know what my 3 times great-grandfather, George Washington Bailey, he was born in 1841. So 1844, he was a 3-year-old enslaved African, Talbot County, Eastern Shore, Maryland. 1844, that's when they started this. During slavery, the American Psychiatric Association was started during slavery. These are slave labels. I need y'all to wake up. You don't let nobody diagnose your child. Now listen to me. Some of you adults are going to say, well, I have ADHD. That's what you're going to say. I have it. That's you. You are an adult. You can speak for yourself. You can monitor your own symptoms. You referred yourself. If you want to get on crack, that's your business. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the babies. One of my biggest issues with child psychiatry is children do not self-refer for medicine. Your child has never asked you for medicine. No black child has ever went to their parent and asked for medicine. You decided that they needed the medicine. The teacher decided that they needed. The principal decided. The doctor decided. The child never decides they want medicine. Show me a black child that ever asks for medicine. So why is Wall Street making $32 billion a year? Why is Wall Street making $32 billion a year off doping up black? Because you. And the reason you put your child on the medicine is because you don't want to be bothered. You don't want to be bothered with teaching them discipline. You don't want to be bothered with spending time with them. You don't want to be bothered fighting those white racist teachers in the public school. You got better things to do. That's why you put them on the dope. The dope is a babysitter. The pill is a probation officer. Your pills are probation officers. Chemical incarceration. Chemical incarceration. Sean John, I sound delusional? Can I ask you a question, Sean? What you on my feed for? What you on the feed? See, the haters, you know what? I ain't gonna even say nothing. Because I got so many brothers and sisters who love and support Dr. Umar. They going to deal with your ass on this post. You about to get ate up. I ain't even got to say nothing. That's because we moving as a one. It's about oneness in 2017. We rocking out one. I ain't even got to handle your ass. I'm about to drop another bomb. Y'all ready for the new bomb? 2017, I will be organizing the African Guards of Garvey, the defense wing of Team Pan-African. Facts. Brothers and sisters out there, you cannot belong to any organization right now. If you belong to any Hotep movement, you cannot join me. I want brothers and sisters with no previous history of any other conscious organization, because I got to be able to trust your ass. You cannot be with me and be with my haters. Sorry, not here. You're dealing with security, my security, the community security. We coming out. Team Pan-African 2017, African Guards of God, suited up, booted up. Facts. I can't walk alone no more. I can't walk alone no more. I got to take it to the next level now. So the security team is about to be organized. You feel me? So if you're trying to be down with that, hit me with an email, drumarjohnson.com. You're trying to be down with that, hit me with the email, drumarjohnson@yahoo.com. Brothers and sisters, remember, it was the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, greatest black leader of the 20th century, who gave us the first female military wing, the African Motor Corps. That was Garvey who did that. Everybody else copied. Facts. That's right. Prince of Pan-Africanism Security Detail. Logo, paraphernalia, name, sharp, facts. So, when we get back here to Benjamin Rush on the back, he used to diagnose enslaved Africans. The father of white psychiatry used to diagnose our ancestors with a disease called nigritude. Let me say it again, nigritude. Let me say it again, Negritude, nigritude, Negritude, nigritude. That was an official psychiatric diagnosis in here back during slavery. Facts. And guess what nigritude was? Guess what and his face is still on the book. His face is still on the book. His face is still on the book. Nigritude was a disease that made the intellectual capacity of the African lower than the level of a monkey or gorilla, chimpanzee. And I'm paraphrasing, but this is basically what he said. And he said, you can tell how much nigritude the slave has by looking at the pigment in his skin. He said, the darker the skin, the more retarded the African. The darker the skin, the more intellectually disabled the African was. And his face is on back of the book today. Facts. You think I'm making it up? Prove me wrong. I know you never heard this before. I know you never heard this before. You think I'm wrong? Prove it. Leave me alone about my munchos, okay? Leave me alone. I cut out the meat. I'm only eating fish in 2017. Excuse me. I only ate fish 2016. So when New Year's come, I would have went 1 year with no meat except fish. You feel me? Now, 2017, I'm going to pull back off the soda. You have to wait till 2018 for my ice cream. I cannot give up my pineapple coconut Haagen-Dazs right now. I know the vegetarians going to get me. I know the vegans going to get me. But unless y'all can make some sort of veggie ice cream that tastes as good as my cherry vanilla and my pineapple coconut and my rum raisin, okay, and my vanilla bean, listen, we're gonna get to the ice cream in 2018. 2017, we either gonna cut out the snacks or we're gonna cut out the soda. I think I'm gonna cut out the soda. I'm gonna cut out the soda and I'm gonna cut out a bunch of the snacks. All right. So we did meat. We took care of the meat. It's just fish now. So this year, y'all got to work with me. We're going to take care of the soda and the munchies. You feel me? And then 2018, the last thing, my ice cream. But not right now. Okay? But once I get married, I'm going to be straight. You feel me? Once I find my wifey duo, then, you know, I ain't got to worry about that no more. Because I don't cook. I don't have time to cook. I'm a revolutionary. I ain't got time for the kitchen, you feel me? I need meals to go. But I can't eat from everybody because some of y'all work with my haters and y'all want to try to take me down because my light shines so bright. My light shines that y'all want to kill it. Listen, don't give me the credit. I'm going to tell you how not to hate. Don't even give me the It's the ancestors. Okay? Let me tell you a little secret. Facts. Facts. When I was in South America 2 years ago, I spoke in Suriname, South America. Suriname is right next to Brazil, I believe, okay? I had a spiritual reading in Suriname. And the priestess who did my reading, guess what she told me? She said in my former life, I was a rebellious slave. Facts. She said, the reason you are, this 2 years ago in South America, 2 years ago, she said, the reason you are the way you are is in your previous manifestation. You were a rebellious slave. Facts. Ifatunde, destiny has returned. Facts. Somebody said you drink the white man's water and orange juice. With a black man's water and orange juice. But I know you were just joking. Okay. So now we're going to go into the book. Y'all ready? ADHD. Here we go. Here we go. 6 or more of the following symptoms have persisted for 6 months to a degree that is inconsistent with developmental level. It must be inconsistent with developmental level, and it must negatively impact directly on social or academic activity. Let me say that part again, because that gets ignored when your child gets diagnosed. He can't just have the symptoms, but the symptoms must be inconsistent with his developmental level, and it must affect his social or academic functioning. What black boy you know with ADHD got a problem interacting with other boys just because he got ADHD? They all got ADHD. He don't have no social problems. Your son is a straight A student. He's on an honor roll. He's a BC student. He's average, but he ain't failing. His ADHD ain't affecting his learning. So according to this, he shouldn't even be diagnosed with it. Facts. According to this, he shouldn't even be diagnosed with it because it's not affecting his social life. It is not affecting his academic achievement. He shouldn't even be diagnosed with it. Read the book. And all you black bookstores out there, shout out to Everyone's Place Baltimore. I was just there yesterday. Okay? Y'all need to carry this. Black bookstores, y'all need to get a couple of these. Okay? Because right now, for a black parent to get this, they got to go to the white bookstore. That's not cool. They got to get some of this stuff. Everything you need to read wasn't written by black folks. I'm going to say it again. Everything you need to read was not written by black folks. There's a lot you need to read that was not written by black folks. When your son comes to the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy, there will be a whole lot he'll be expected to read that was not written by us. You said this Turks and Caicos. I was at the Turks and Caicos last month, right? Established 1492. 1492. That rang a bell, don't it? Guess where Christopher Columbus first landed? Christopher Columbus landed in Turks and Caicos, 1492. Facts. Prince of Pan-Africanism landed 2016, 525 years after Columbus. I invaded the Turks to undo what Columbus did. Facts. And I'm going back to Turks and Caicos, shout out. Jamaica, shout out. Bermuda, shout out. Bahamas, shout out. I'm coming back. Haiti, we about to make Haiti pop in a minute. Prince of Pan-Africanism is coming to ground zero of revolutionary Pan-African nationalism. Jean-Jacques Dessalines, Toussaint L'Ouverture, Henry Christophe, Bookman, Dada. I'm coming to Haiti. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Pour libation at the graves of the revolutionaries. I need the ashe. I need the ashe. Okay. So let's go. Often fails to give close attention to detail. Makes careless mistakes in schoolwork or other activities. Let me say this again. Fails to give close attention to detail. Makes careless mistakes in his schoolwork, overlooks or misses details. This is ADHD. Can I ask you a question? Doesn't everybody overlook detail? Don't every child make careless mistakes? Isn't that common for everybody? So what is it in here for? Number 2, has difficulty sustaining attention. Difficulty sustaining attention, has difficulty remaining focused during lectures, conversations, or lengthy reading. Listen, has difficulty remaining focused during lectures, conversations, or lengthy reading. What child is not going to have difficulty staying focused, listening to a lecture, a lengthy reading, or conversation? Kids don't sit still for no lecture. They don't sit still for no conversation. And they damn sure not going to stay focused when they got to read a long. See, it said lengthy. Lengthy. No child can sustain focus for that long. This should be illegal. This is a joke. And it is a hustle so they can get paid off of this. How much money they make doping up black children? $32 billion. $32 billion because you let a white teacher tell you that your son needs medication to get an education. You let a white teacher tell you that your son needs medication to get an education. Shame on you. Let's keep going. Number 3, does not seem to listen when spoken to directly. His mind seems elsewhere, even in the absence of obvious distraction. Doesn't seem to listen to when spoken to. You know why? Because either his ass ain't interested or he don't respect you. It ain't no ADHD. It ain't no neurological problem. It ain't no brain-based issue. He don't like you. He not interested in what you talking about. It ain't got nothing to do with no ADHD. Number 4, does not follow through on instructions and fails to finish schoolwork, chores, duties in the workplace. Starts tasks but quickly loses focus and is easily sidetracked. What child do you know does not lose focus and is not easily sidetracked after they start doing their work? That's part of being a child, is it not? In fact, can I ask you a question? Don't all of us exhibit this? Don't you exhibit this? I know I exhibit this. So why are we doping up kids for being normal? Why are we doping up kids for being normal? I'll tell you why. Because 93% of America's teachers are racist white women. 93% of America's teachers are racist white women who don't want to be bothered with our sons. And if the boy can't act like a girl, he will be diagnosed. If the boy can't act like a girl, he will be diagnosed. If the boy can't act like a girl, he will be medicated. If the boy can't act like a girl, he will be medicated. That's why the black boy is twice discriminated against. He's discriminated against because he's black, and he's discriminated against because he's a male. In other words, your son is being blackmailed. Your son is being blackmailed by the public school system. Facts. Hold on. You said I got some Hotep water? Okay. Just make sure it's real Hotep water. Because you know y'all conscious dudes. Y'all go get the water out the sink and put some shea butter in it and call it the Hotep water. Don't be hustling me, okay? It better be real Hotep water. So, let's keep on going. Number 5. Has difficulty organizing tasks and activities. Listen to this. Now, this is for children. This is for children. This is for children. Has difficulty organizing tasks and activities. Has difficulty managing sequential tasks. Sequential tasks. Managing sequential tasks. You asking a child to manage sequential tasks. Let's keep going. Difficulty keeping materials in order, messy, disorganized work, poor time management, fails to meet deadlines. I can see if they were an adult. We're talking about children. Your 5-year-old diagnosed with ADHD. Why is your 5-year-old being expected to manage sequential tasks? Why is your 5-year-old being expected to have a time management skill? Does that make any sense to you? This whole thing is bogus. Let's go to the next one. Avoids, dislikes, or is reluctant to engage in tasks that require sustained mental effort. I'm not even going to read them all. I'm going to stop with this one because it's crazy. Listen. Avoids, dislikes, or is reluctant to engage in tasks that require sustained mental effort. What child do you know ever engages in sustained mental effort? You probably don't even engage in sustained mental effort. Sometimes I have trouble engaging in sustained mental effort. And this is what they expecting our kids to do. Come on, y'all. Come on. Come on. Come on. Now I want to show y'all something. Remember earlier, I said you got ADHD, primarily hyper. You got ADHD combined. You got ADHD inattentive. But check this out. They made it easier to diagnose kids with ADHD in 5 than they did in 4 and 3. It's easier now because they got 2 new categories of ADHD. So you got your hyper, your inattentive, your combined. That's not it. It's 2 more. Other specified ADHD and unspecified ADHD. Other specified ADHD and unspecified ADHD. Guess what? That means that if your child does not meet the criteria for ADHD, listen, if your child does not meet the full criteria, they can still be diagnosed with ADHD. Let me say it again. Even if your child does not meet the full criteria for ADHD as laid out in the DSM, they can still be diagnosed with ADHD. All you have to call it is other specified or unspecified. All diagnoses lead to the medication. Now, some of you parents messed up. I know. You said, wait a minute. Wait. Did you just say that even if my son didn't meet all the criteria, they can still die? Yes. Our boys don't even have no damn ADHD. They bored as hell and they ain't got no daddy. That's the problem. Now let's go to the meds. Okay? And I want to see y'all in San Diego. If y'all really care about our parents and y'all want to help Dr. Umar Johnson organize the National Independent Black Parent Association, if y'all really care about our parents and y'all want to help Dr. Umar Johnson organize the National Independent Black Parent Association, please come to San Diego. Sunny San Diego. Get away from the cold of the Midwest. Get away from the cold of the Northeast. Get away from the cold of the Southeast. Come with me to San Diego Friday and Saturday, January 27th and 28th, from 9 in the morning to 6 o'clock, so I can train you. Friday and Saturday, 2 days. 2 days, Friday and Saturday, January 27th and 28th, San Diego, California, at the Black-owned World Beat Cultural Center. I need you to come so I can train you on how to build your own chapter of the National Independent Black Parent Association. There will be a special ed committee to fight against special ed abuse, to fight against special ed fraud. There will be a discipline committee to keep our kids from being suspended, expelled, kicked out of class, sent to discipline school. There will be a finance committee to investigate how the public schools are spending your tax money. There will be a policy committee to change the rules in the schools that do not benefit our babies. There will be a social committee to support black parents. There will be a homeschool committee to organize all the homeschooling parents in your city so they can create a homeschool network and teach the babies together. And then there will be a parent advocate committee, a parent advocacy committee, a committee of parents who will be trained in special ed law, trained in this so they can go with you to the school, because you should never, ever go to the school by yourself. Always take somebody with you. Mom, dad, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, niece, nephew, grandma, grandpa. Never go to the school by yourself. Take somebody with you. So if you care about our parents, if you really care, because some of y'all just want to keep on hotepping. Some of y'all just want to keep on intellectually masturbating. Some of y'all want to keep on being Facebook scholars and YouTube intellectuals. You understand? I need to get active. We got to work. We got to do work. I know you don't want to do no work because the conscious community made your ass lazy with lectures. I know you don't want to do no work. The preacher that made you lazy with sermons. I know you don't want to do no work because we live in the Facebook revolutionary generation. We live in the YouTube revolutionary generation. Don't none of y'all want to get up off your ass and do some work. Get up off your ass and do some work. But for those of y'all who ready, I'm going to see you in San Diego. You can go register right now. Prince of Pan-Africanism.eventbrite.com. Prince of Pan-Africanism.eventbrite.com. Get your tickets for Atlanta, your tickets for Baltimore, your tickets for Los Angeles, your tickets for Durham, your tickets for Detroit, your tickets for Jacksonville, your tickets for the Parent Association Conference. And then I will be doing a lecture in San Diego on the 29th, community lecture. I have to put that link up. Okay. The parent conference link is up. The parent conference link is up. Okay. But I have to put up the Sunday San Diego lecture link. I'm going to take care of that tomorrow while I'm preparing for Baltimore. Now, let's talk about the pills. Is this benefiting y'all? Give me a black fist if this is helping. If this is helping you, because I don't want to waste your time. If this is helping you, please give me a black fist in the comments. Give me a black fist in the comments. If it's not helping you, you could give me a thumbs down. If it ain't helping, thumbs down. But if you give me a thumbs down, then I want to know why you're still here. For real, for real. You must be one of those hoteppers, dusty hoteppers, because if this ain't helping you, then you shouldn't even be on here. But if this is helping you, please give me a black fist. Okay, can I get a black fist? I don't see no black fists yet. Where them black fists at? All right. Okay, so now let's talk about the drugs. We're going to talk about the side effects of the medicines that they be giving our children. Okay, I see all the fists. I appreciate that. I see you, Lance, Kalfani, Clayton, Tara, Yashika, Tyrese, Tay, Sean, Renee, Syria. Okay, I appreciate Akil, Ali L. Shout out to my Morris brothers, Kaia, Yashika, Daryl Brown. Shout out to Daryl. Shout out to Shaq. Shout out to Syria. Shout out to Shavonda Campbell. Shout out to Pauline Shilton. Shout out to Larisha. Shout out to Lamuel Johnson, Brother Marcus Steed. Shout out to Roberus McIntosh. I apologize. Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth, Vonell, Tamika, Asia, Mr. Troy Brown. Shout out Sophia. Shout out to you. Shout out to Angie Ramirez. Shout out to Patricia Ann. Shout out to Brandy Dawson from Columbus. Shout out to Crystal Rice. You feel me? Shout out to Reginald, the Anointed One. Shout out to the Lioness Fatima. Shout out to Alexandria Self-Made Pound. Shout out to Candy Coy. Shout out to Mustafa. You feel me? Shout out to Patrick English. Shout out to Jelani Zaberi. Shout out to Daniel Braithwaite. Shout out to Catrice Michael. Shout out to Bryce Hooks. Shout out to James Wood. I just want y'all to know I appreciate y'all. I appreciate all y'all. Alexandria Self-Made Pounds, Stephen Foxworth, Liz Simpkins, Reuben Livingston, Roberus McIntosh, Sharon Jackson, Doug Ligon, all my Dr. Umar supporters, Janine Lewis, Carol Cannon. I like that name, Carol Cannon. That's heavy right there. Umar Muhammad, Sharice Mays, Patricia Ann, Marcus Ward. You feel me? Edward Oliver Jr. Shout out Sherry Bogans Banks, Anthony Robinson. How do I say that name? Guavi Marie, Alfio Vizi. Shout out Kane Manley. Shout out Shay DeMarco, shout out Asiya Abdul Rahim, Sonny Jason, you feel me? Alicia, shout out. Chris Gordon, shout out. Let's talk about these side effects of the medications one time. Shout out to everybody. Okay, so we're going to deal with methylphenidate. Methylphenidate. That is the pharmaceutical name. Methylphenidate is the pharmaceutical name for Ritalin. Ritalin is the commercial name. Methylphenidate is the scientific name. Does everybody understand? So you might have some sneakers. These are Adidas. These are Nike. This is Puma. Okay? But they all sneakers. Okay? So methylphenidate is the drug, the chemical drug. It is commercially sold. It is commercially sold as Ritalin, but guess what? About 10 years ago, Ritalin lost the patent for methylphenidate. Okay? Well, I don't want to say that they lost it, but it expired. Their sole control to sell methylphenidate expired. So guess what? Methylphenidate is not only sold as Ritalin, it is sold as Concerta. If your child is on Concerta, Concerta is no different than Ritalin. They are both methylphenidate. Okay, what about Metadate? Some of you have children on Metadate, right? Well, Metadate, Ritalin, Concerta, Methylin, they are all the same drug, different commercial name. They are all the same drug, different commercial name. Does everybody understand? Okay. Also, Focalin. Focalin is another name for, so you got Focalin, Methylin, Concerta, Metadate, Ritalin, and all of these are what? Crack cocaine. Crack cocaine for kids so they can sit still while they learn about Christopher Columbus. Shame on you, black parents, for signing your permission for your child to be medicated in order to be miseducated. I said you signed your name so your child can be medicated in order to be miseducated. Now, check this out. It says, and I'm reading from the book. I'm reading. White folks, not me. Okay, this wasn't produced by the Hotepper community. Okay, science. Type of drug. Methylphenidate is a mild central nervous system stimulant. I want to see if you caught that. What type of drug is it? It is a central nervous, what? What's that last word? What's that last word? Stimulant. Wait a minute. ADHD is hyper. So if he's already hyper, why are you going to give him a stimulant to deal with hyperactivity? Now he's super hyper. That's the controversy. Because the methylphenidate stimulates the brain. It don't calm it down. It stimulates. I hope y'all listening. It don't calm the child down. It stimulates. And guess what the scientists say? The so-called researchers say that we don't know how it works, but it does work. So when we overstimulate the brain, it calms down. You know why? Because you are overdriving the brain to the point where the brain loses control of itself and it begins to simmer down. In other words, whenever you give the child brain drugs, you cause brain damage. Facts. Every time you give the child brain drugs, you cause brain damage. Facts. I know some of y'all like, oh my God. Nobody told me this, Dr. Umar Johnson. Nobody. I know they didn't. And that's why I don't blame you. But now you know better, so you need to do better. I don't fault you, mother. You're doing the best you can to raise them kids. I don't fault no black mom. I love y'all. I commend y'all. I give y'all a hand. Don't you look down. Don't you feel bad. I'm not condemning you. I'm just trying to motivate you. Now you know what you're going to do about it. Now you know what you're going to do about it. We family. Ain't nobody shooting nobody down. We is family. Oneness. Okay? I know they didn't tell you that the drug stimulates your son, drive his brain into overdrive. And that's where you get what, y'all? That's where you get the Frankenstein. You ever see that? The kids look like baby Frankenstein. They be all comatose. That's why. Because it's a stimulant. You don't believe me? Read it. Mild central nervous system stimulant. Mild central nervous system stimulant. If you're appreciating the lesson tonight, from your doctor of clinical psychology and certified school psychologist, Dr. Umar Johnson, please go to GoFundMe.com, Dr. Umar. please go to gofundme.com, Dr. Umar, and make a donation. You out buying Christmas gifts, can I get a donation? You out getting weave and perm, can we get a donation for the school? You bought a new car, can we get a donation? You bought your kid a new cell phone, can we get a donation for the school? Okay? And let me give y'all a quick school update, right? Quick school update. Y'all saw the live feed of the school in Pennsylvania a couple days ago. They want 1.4 million. I'm going to have a new total for y'all once I deposit these new checks that I got, fundraiser checks. We're going to see exactly where we at. Okay, right after the new year. So when I get back to Philly from Atlanta, you're going to get the new total. Okay, so I need y'all to donate. Give me that Christmas gift, that Kwanzaa gift, that New Year's gift. I need y'all to make them donations pop, y'all, because we a little short of that 1.4. We only dealing with about 750. Okay, we at 7. They want 1.4, so we need another 7. You feel me? Let's get that. Let's get that. Now, the school in Baltimore is real nice. Now, the school in Pennsylvania has residential. If we do the Pennsylvania school, we can get 75 boys in there overnight, which is cool because it could be a day school for the boys who live in Philly and Chester. You feel me? In Norristown and all that, Darby, Yaden, shout out to Southwest Philly. So it could be a day school for the Philly boys. But if your son live in Detroit, Chicago, Florida, Los Angeles, and you still want them to come, they can be the residential students. So we will have a residential program and a day program. You feel me? So that's the good thing about Philly. We can still do some residential. And I really want to do some residential. Baltimore don't have residential. But the Baltimore school is in much better condition. The Baltimore school, they want 1.9 million. It's a little more, okay? And it's not residential, but it's in top-notch condition. So who knows? Maybe when we do Baltimore Monday, maybe somebody from Baltimore might call up Ray Lewis or one of the Baltimore Orioles or one of the Baltimore Ravens and bring me a big check so we can just go buy the school. I'm hoping somebody come Monday night to the Kwanzaa lecture, 401 North Howard Street, Downtown Cultural Arts Center in Philly, in Baltimore. And I hope that here, Doc, here go the money right here. Go get that school. I'm hoping. Okay, I'm not going to think small. I'm going to think big. I'm going to put it out in the universe that somebody is watching me. Somebody is watching me. They might be a celebrity. They might not be a celebrity. And if you're watching me, I want to encourage you, go ahead and put your trust in me. I will not let you down. Go ahead. In fact, you ain't even got to give me the deed. You keep the deed. You keep the deed and just let me use the school. I ain't got to own it. You can own it. Just give me, I don't need to own the school. I just need to use the school. Do you feel me? You can buy the damn school. You keep it. Let it be on your asset list. Just let me use it. You feel me? So if you out there and you watching and you got a couple dollars, trust me. Trust me. You will not regret this. I promise you that. Okay? August 21st, 2018. Them doors will open. August 21st, 2018. The 185th anniversary of the Nat Turner War, those doors will open. I promise you that with the help of God and the blessings of the ancestors. So let's talk about the side effects for methylphenidate, which is what, y'all? Ritalin, Focalin, Methylin, Concerta, and Metadate. All 5 are crack. Okay, now, here we go. Side effects. Vomiting, agitation, uncontrollable twitching. Uncontrollable twitching is a side effect of Ritalin. Who else has uncontrolled twitching? Drug addicts, crackheads. They nose start twitching, mouth start twitching. This is crack. It's no different than the stuff they sell on the street. Uncontrolled twitching. Okay? Convulsions followed by a coma. What y'all want me to say? I'm going to say it again because I know you didn't hear me. Convulsions followed by a coma. These drugs can put your son in a damn coma. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Convulsions followed by a coma. Euphoria, which means you feel high. Euphoria, you get high, which is why the American Medical Association said that these drugs serve as gateway drugs. Once your child has been on this drug for a while, they get older. Now they want to take harder drugs, stronger drugs. The school system is graduating your child into addiction. They're not graduating them from high school. They graduating them to prison and addiction. I'll be damned. And you know what's so sad? I ain't got enough money for this school yet. That's sad. That's real sad. Our sons is going through this. And y'all buying sneakers and clothes and cars and chains and weave and perm and jeans and Gucci sandals and Louis bags, and we ain't even got a school for our boys. And y'all out there wasting money right now. The stores are still open. What time is it? It's 12:30, and a lot of them stores still open now. Y'all still shop. You don't care about your son. You don't care about your son. No, you don't. No, you don't. We would have had them schools already. That GoFundMe would have been lit up. Lit up. Lit up. And don't get me wrong, I'm not upset. I appreciate what we got. And all y'all who donated, I love y'all. And some of y'all donate more than once. Okay? So ain't no, I'm thankful. I'm very gracious. But I know we could have done better. Not you. Not you. But all the other ones who did not donate. When y'all go to that Christmas dinner, y'all better tell y'all family, bring your checkbook, because you ain't coming in my house if you ain't got a check to the FDMG Academy. That's right. Make your mama, your daddy, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your next door neighbor, your best friend, make them write a check to FDMG. If you serious. If you serious. Okay? I am not a pastor or a bishop or a preacher. Okay? I'm a revolutionary. Let's keep going. Confusion, hallucination. Your child can hallucinate. Do you know what that is? That's called psychosis, psychotic illness. That's what you call people crazy. Your child can see, Mommy, I see a ghost. Mommy, I'm hearing voices. Mommy, I think it's somebody in the closet. Now your child going crazy because you giving them Ritalin. Delirium, sweating, flushing, headache, high fever, abnormal heart rate, abnormal heart rate, abnormal heart rate, high blood pressure, as if black folks don't already have enough high blood pressure. Hey, Batach, I respect you being an Israelite, my brother. I respect the Hebrews, but I don't want to be a Hebrew. And if I can respect you being a Hebrew, you should be able to respect me being a Pan-African nationalist. See, that's the problem with the conscious community. You Negroes want to force people to believe in what you believe in. That's why we can't move forward. I'm so tired of you dusty ass Hotep people keep trying to make somebody believe what you want to believe. You understand? I don't force my ideology on nobody. You do not have to be a Pan-Africanist to work with Dr. Umar, and I shouldn't have to be a Hebrew to work with your silly ass. Now get the hell off my post, because I'm going to block you when I'm done. Don't come to me with that shit. I'm about unity. I'm not about division. I'm about bringing everybody together. I want the Hebrews at the table. I want the Moors at the table. I want the Nuwapians at the table. I want the guys in Earth at the table. I want Nation of Islam at the table. I want the vegetarians at the table, the socialists, the nationalists, the Christians, the Muslims. I want everybody at the table. I don't want no divided family. I am tired of our family being divided. So don't come to me about no scriptures. I respect your Bible because that's what you believe in. I'm going to respect you. But why you got to force it on me? In fact, I'm going to have to call a heads of state conference for all the conscious community, quote unquote, leaders. We have to have a serious sit down, and handle this. Okay? We got to handle this. All right? Brooklyn, January the 12th. Brooklyn, we will be honoring the late, great Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, the late, great Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad on his Earth Day, Thursday, January 12th at the Brooklyn Christian Center. The doors are going to open up at 4. Y'all know how Dr. Umar in Brooklyn get down, the same way me in Queens get down, the same way me in Harlem get down, and I need y'all to get there early. Don't be coming at 7 o'clock. You will not get in. Get there at 4. Get there by 5 because that place is going to be packed by 6 o'clock. Okay? So if you got to be in the house, if you need to be in the house, then you need to get to Brooklyn early because I'm going to deal with the crisis in the conscious community. I said my topic to honor Dr. Khalid is going to be about healing the divide in the Black consciousness community in the United States of America. I was already at South Carolina State, Brother Camille, last year. South Carolina State, we jam-packed. South Carolina State. I'm going to be there again on the Black College and Consciousness Tour. Don't forget, y'all, we got the Black College and Consciousness Tour for the 11 to 17-year-old Black boys and girls. The Black College and Consciousness Tour, June 28th to July 12th. Let's finish with these side effects so I can let y'all go. Dryness of the mouth, dry nose. Okay. I'm going to do another one. What else they give with Ritalin, Concerta? What's one of the Depakote? They like giving our boys Depakote for anger. I'm going to do one more, y'all, then I'm going to let y'all go. Okay, Depakote, $11.97. $11.97. I'm a scholar, baby. I'm a scholar. This is what I do. Not the white bougie kind either. Okay. So, Depakote scientific name is valproic acid. Valproic acid. Okay. It's an anticonvulsant. It's an anticonvulsant, but they use it for mania, bipolar disorder, and borderline. Listen to me well, parents. There's something I need to tell you. Listen to me well, parents. Depakote is for seizures. It's not for mental illness. But in the United States of America, you can prescribe a drug to deal with a problem that it was not designed for. I hope you heard what I just said. In the United States of America, you can prescribe a drug to deal with a problem that the drug was not prescribed for. So when black boys are angry, when they say he got an anger problem, he's too emotional, they will give your son an anticonvulsant for an anger problem. Let me say it again. They will give your son an anticonvulsant to deal with anger. And one of the most popular anticonvulsants is Depakote. Ready for the side effects? Nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, dizziness, indigestion, sedation or sleepiness, weakness, weight gain, emotional problems, depression. Check it out. Bipolar is what? Manic depressive. If you're bipolar, you go from mania, very high levels of activity, to depression, right? Bipolar is, right, a type of depression, right? It includes depression, right? Well, if bipolar includes depression and Depakote causes depression, did y'all hear what I just said? Did y'all hear what I just said? They gave you the drug because you're depressed, but according to the physician's desk reference, the drug they give you for depression causes depression. Can somebody explain that to me? You giving me a drug for depression that causes depression. The pharmaceutical industry is out of control. The pharmaceutical industry is out of control. Okay, let's keep going. Changes in the blood components. Changes in the blood. Did y'all hear what I said? Changes in the blood components. That don't sound right to me. Does that sound right to you? Your child takes some medicine for being angry and it messes with his blood? Do black folks need our blood messed up? Haven't they messed with our blood enough? Constipation, decreased appetite, hair loss, he can go bald, hair loss, he can go bald. Change in menstrual period. If you give this to your daughter, don't let your daughter take Depakote for emotional issues. It can mess with her menstrual cycle. She don't need that. Cervical cancer, she don't need that. Check it out. Headache, loss of eye muscle control. Did you hear that? So the eyes be twitching. Loss of eye muscle control. According to the book. Ringing in the ears. Droopy eyes. Your eyes be hanging. They said droopy eyes. Droopy eyes. Droopy eyes is a side effect of Depakote. Droopy eyes. Double vision. Spots before the eyes. Loss of muscle control. And tremors. Now the brother said Adderall. I'm going to do Adderall and we're going to stop for the night. All right? We're going to stop for the night. Adderall, number 38. Adderall is okay. Adderall, they give that for ADHD. ADD, that's where they get the name Adderall. ADDERALL. ADD. You see that? Adderall. Guess what? Central nervous stimulant. Here we go again. Overstimulating the brain. If he's hyper, why are you overstimulating the brain if he's hyper? Okay. Getting high, hallucinations, aggression. It can make your son aggressive, angry, aggressive, muscle spasm, headache, dry mouth, unpleasant taste in the mouth, diarrhea, constipation, upset stomach, nausea, vomiting, rash, itching, changes in the sex drive. Changes in the sex drive? Changes in the sex drive for taking ADHD medicine known as Adderall? Changes in the sex drive? Does that have anything to do with the effeminization of black males? Does that have anything to do with the effeminization of black males? Does that have anything to do with the effeminization of black males? Blurred vision. Listen, sexual impotence. My Adderall parents, did you hear that? One of the side effects is impotence. Your son won't be able to make love to his wife when he gets older because his mommy and daddy put him on drugs so he can sit still long enough to learn about Christopher Columbus. So changes in the sex drive and then sexual impotence is a side effect of ADHD medicine. I'll be damned. I would never give my child none of this. I would never give my child none of this. Now, I said I was going to let y'all go, but I got to do one more. Can I do one more? I got to do one more. It just occurred to me that I didn't give y'all the side effects for antidepressants. They love to give sad kids antidepressants. A lot of y'all like to take antidepressants. A lot of black women love to take antidepressants to deal with the side effects of your menstrual cycle, your menses, your period. They give you antidepressants to deal with that. So what's the top selling antidepressant in the world? The top selling ADHD medicine is Ritalin. The top selling antidepressant is what, y'all? Begins with a Z. Begins with a Z. Zoloft. So let's look at the side effects for the #1 most prescribed antidepressant in the world that they give to black kids for being sad and black women who have cramps during their menstrual. Let's look it up. $10.45. And they got a long list for this one, right? Let's look at what they give Zoloft for. Depression, bulimia, obsessive compulsive disorder, depression, social anxiety disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder, migraines, diabetic neuropathy, hot flashes, post-traumatic stress disorder, premenstrual dysphoric disorder, borderline personality disorder. Okay? Y'all ready for the side effects? Y'all ready for the side effects for the top selling antidepressant? You don't need no damn antidepressants. Fix your life. Get your life in order. Okay? Put God back. Put the ancestors back. Get your conduct right. Get your spiritual reading. Get back on the path. You don't need no damn antidepressants. Stop worshiping materialism. That's why you're depressed. Because you keep going broke because you think you can buy stuff to make you happy. Nothing outside of you can make you happy. Not your husband, not your wife, not your Mercedes, not your house, not your career, not your sneakers, not your perm, not your weave, not your caddy truck. Nothing outside of you will make you happy. Here we go. Side effects. Headache, anxiety, nervousness, sleeplessness, drowsiness, tiredness, weakness, sexual dysfunction, tremors, night sweats, dizziness, lightheadedness, dry mouth, upset or irritated stomach, appetite loss, appetite increase, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, gas, rash, weight loss, electric shock sensations. Did y'all hear what I just said? Did you hear what I just said? Electric shock sensations. That's a sound effect. So you feel like you being shocked? Who wants to take that shit? Let's keep going. Increased sweating, increased yawning, abnormal dreams, difficulty concentrating, acne all over your face, hair loss, dry skin, dizziness or fainting, itching, chest pain, allergy, runny nose, bronchitis, abnormal heart rhythm, blood pressure change. Whoa, 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 whoa. If your blood pressure drop too low, what happened? If your blood pressure go too high, what happened? Zoloft causes significant changes in the blood pressure. Bone pain. Your bones will start hurting. Your child's bones will start hurting. Bone pain. And that's not good for women because women already suffer from osteoporosis. Y'all suffer from a loss of calcium, and then on top of your loss of calcium, especially during the menopausal years, on top of your loss of calcium, now you're taking this to deal with the menopause, and that's causing bone pain. You will be in a damn wheelchair. You keep messing with this damn antidepressant. Twitching, Urinary pain. Urinary pain. Urinary pain is a side effect of antidepressants. Low blood sugar. Low blood sugar. Ain't that diabetes? Low blood sugar? Low thyroid activity. It can mess with your thyroid. You know how important your thyroid is? Pink eye. It can cause pink. Listen. Brothers and sisters, my job is to educate you. But you have to decide whether you're going to use it or not. Wisdom is not in knowing. The wisdom is in doing. We're going to fix our problems. We're going to get out of this oppression or we're going to die trying. We're going to get our liberation or we're going to die trying. We're going to get free or we're going to die trying. We're going to save our babies or we're going to die trying. Baltimore, I will see you Monday. Florida, I will see you Wednesday. Detroit, I will see you in exactly 7 days. Atlanta, I will see you on New Year's Day. Los Angeles, I will see you the first Saturday of the new year. Brooklyn, I will see you the second Tuesday of the new year. Durham, North Carolina, I will see you. Okay, Brooklyn, I will see you the second Thursday of the new year. Durham, North Carolina, I will see you the second Tuesday of the new year. This is the Prince of Pan-Africanism. Guess I'm getting tired. This is the Prince of Pan-Africanism. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Tuesday morning, we got the Black Parent Teleconference. Make sure you donate to the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. Don't forget you can register your child for the Black College and Consciousness Tour that's going to be coming up. The Repatriation Task Force, I'm still working on that. The Repatriation Task Force, I'm still working on that, as well as the 2-week cruise to Africa, 2-week trip to Africa, but I'm also looking at a Caribbean cruise as well, because we got to work, but we got to have fun. We got to work, but we got to have fun. You understand? So sometimes you need a little cultural entertainment to go along with the hard work. So the trips to Africa, you understand? It's about education, but I want you to have some fun. Caribbean cruise, I want you to have some fun. College tour, they got to learn, but I still want them to have some fun. Okay? And I want you guys, if you have any ideas for Dr. Umar Johnson, if you have any ideas for me, things I need to start doing, things I ain't been doing, things I need to do better, feel free to let me know. You can tweet it. You know what I mean? If you think it's something kind of personal, then you can email it. But I read all the advice I get because I know I'm not perfect and I'm always trying to become a better person. You understand me? So if you see something, I get emails, I read them. I might not be able to respond to you because I'll be busy. But I read every email. I'm telling you, I read every email. I read them. Sometimes I try to hit you back with a fist. I get your text message. I hit you back with a fist. Please don't take it personal. I'm not able to respond to everybody because I get a lot of support. I'm a Pan-Africanist. I'm the Prince of Pan-Africanism. So I not only hear from y'all, I hear from Africa. I hear from the UK. London, you will see me in 2017. London, England, you will see me in 2017. Believe that. The United Kingdom, London. I know it's been 3 long years. London, I haven't forgot you. You're a big Dr. Umar city. Birmingham, Luton, Wolverhampton, Manchester. I'm coming back. Shout out to my brothers over in Holland. I'm coming back to Holland too. Okay, I'm coming back to Holland as well. Do you feel me? I'm coming back. Okay. So I'm going to end on that. Get me some sleep. Get back to Philly tomorrow. Start packing up for the Kwanzaa tour. Baltimore, next up. This is the Prince of Pan-Africanism, and I approve this message.